watching Let's Chat.
And we are going to spend our final few minutes this morning with our attorney friend Gary Massey from Massey and Associates. We're going to be talking legal advice. Gary, good morning.
Good morning.
During the commercial break you just saw, I was given 4 folded pieces of paper just like this, and Gary said, choose one. So this is the one that I chose. And it says that today we are going to go through a scenario called case or no case. I will present Chip with a scenario from a real case from the Court of Appeals, which kind of takes it up a little.
Right.
No pressure here. Chip will then decide whether the person described should win or lose, and then Gary will explain how the court decided the case. I love it. Let's do it.
Okay. Here's the situation. A lady has two doctor's appointments in a hospital complex. She takes the bus to the hospital. She gets off the bus and goes into the lobby of the hospital, goes into a bathroom. As soon as she gets into the bathroom, she sees a lot of water on the floor. She continues to walk in the bathroom. She falls, hurts herself, but she still gets up, goes into the bathroom stall, uses the facilities, and then comes back, and later brings a case against the hospital because of the water all over the floor that made her fall down. So then she filed a lawsuit, went to trial in General Sessions Court, then went to circuit court, and then went all the way to the Court of Appeals.
Wow.
And the Court of Appeals is answering the question, should she be allowed to bring this lawsuit? Should this lawsuit be allowed to go to a jury? And so that's the question for you,
That's
Judge
what you're
Chip.
putting out. Wow.
That's right.
All right. What color dress was she wearing? I would think that she, well, I could make an argument for that one of two ways. Number one, she sees what could be a potential problem. She should have maybe found another restroom, or definitely a case of negligence where there's something on the floor, which I guess would be the hospital or the medical complex's responsibility. Mm-hmm. So now I got to pick and choose.
You
right?
got to decide.
Yeah, I would say she does have a case.
Well, the General Sessions Court disagreed with you. The Circuit Court judge disagreed with you. But the Court of Appeals agrees with you.
Wow, and that's what we were going for, the Court of Appeals,
That's right.
right?
The Court of Appeals says, even though she saw the water on the floor and decided to go further into the bathroom, you have to compare her fault with the hospital's fault.
Right.
And it may be that the hospital is more at fault for allowing the condition to exist than she is at fault for going forward, because, you know, when nature calls and going to the bathroom is a necessity, sometimes you just almost have no choice.
Sure.
And so you have to brave a risk, even though you see the risk there, you take the risk because the alternative is even worse.
Yeah.
And so the court said that's a jury question. A jury should be allowed to answer that question rather than a judge throwing the case out before it gets to a jury.
Because in most cases, answering those calls of nature are not optional.
Right.
You know, I mean,
in
really,
many cases.
especially if you are of a certain age. We've only got 60 seconds less. Do you have another case like this that we could breeze through, or I guess we better not, because we've only got less than a minute now. Next time you're here, I want to do this again, and I'm sure
right.
you've got files and files of similar situations.
They come
like
out
this.
every day.
Can you tell us the final disposition on the case?
The final disposition on the case is she comes back to the trial court and gets a trial with a jury. And so the case is not over. It's sort of revived. It's like the case died, and then the Court of Appeals breathed new life back into the case so that it gets to go forward to a trial.
You've opened up a whole new arena. Judge Gary and Chip. I could hear it right now.
I can too.
We'll be the next judge. Somebody. Anyway, get in touch with Gary and the staff at Massey and Associates. Their website, masseyattorneys.com, masseyattorneys.com. You can also find them in 6400 Lee Highway, and the phone number is 697-4529, 697-4529. Gary Massey, a pleasure as always, and we thank you very much.
Thank you, Chip.
Hope you will join us tomorrow. It is the midweek edition of Let's Chat. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 10.